Hi everyone and welcome back. Is Sand preparing a major 200% move on the lower time frame to the upside for a potential massive spot trade here? Stay tuned to find out. So I've taken us over to the monthly time frame, and as always, welcome back to the channel. Using the same techniques as we always are using, we're looking at the big bullish breaker candle fills on the monthly time frame to come in and get filled. And you can see with this latest month, we actually wicked all the way down to this block cluster of consolidation from June and July 2021. So a great sign for us to reclaim this level on the lower time frame. I'm not saying that I think we're just going to shoot up from here. I am saying, we potentially could have a little bit of drawdown to start this month out, come back down to these levels down here at around 37 cents, but then I do think we are preparing a major 1 to 200% move to the upside. We've seen it with some other altcoins. I don't see why we will not see it with Sand. So I think patience is just the name of the game here. Keeping those same monthly levels that we've just outlined on the monthly time frame and dropping us down to the weekly time frame, taking a closer look at what we've drawn here, you can see how them monthly time frame levels align with the weekly clusters of consolidation and the breakout levels. And look at that weekly candle close there, right on that level. It's perfect, and it's exactly what we wanted to see with the wick going down to that big bullish breaker from back in 2021. So even the monthly candle levels playing out on the weekly time frame to perfection, really. And when we start to take into account the liquidity in the market, the way I like to look at it is, if you would have been in the market here and seen the market pump to the upside, major pump there, and starting to long the breakout here for Sand, your stop loss would have been below this level. And you can see the market took that out. And anyone starting to long the market again here on this liquidity wick would have got taken out again. A big pump to the upside, again inducing the longs to come into the market up at these highs and then going to take those stop losses on them weekly and monthly time frames that we've discussed. But now you will notice all of these wicks to the upside, none of them have actually been taken by the market. So what I would imagine is people who are now beginning to short the market, like the people long in the market up here, will have those stop losses up and around these levels. These wicks of liquidity is how you take that into account when people are maybe entering a trade thinking Sand's going to go lower and lower. On this wick here, played a big trick in the market. I think many people would have been going short, looking for that next major level down here for Sand, not quite getting there yet. So I would imagine, if we would imagine the market now looking to hold this level, everyone's still really bearish in the altcoin market. No one's really talking about Sand. We're still at these low levels, been, in my opinion, accumulating for quite a while. I think the market makers are now just filling orders, setting the bids, ready for the market to shoot to the upside and take all of this liquidity. And I think $1.30 would be that minimum zone. So what I'm not saying is that we have to go from this level, because we have left a nice wick to the downside. One more tap of that wick to begin this monthly time frame would coincide with that monthly analysis that we did earlier, saying that we could potentially go and take that out. But I would not expect us to go much lower. One target that we can get from that wick of liquidity there, just draw a trend line there. I think if we was to go down in the next few weeks, your target to the downside would be around 31, 32 cents. And I think the upside target's really coming in around $1.30. And that's the way I like to look at the market, especially when you're looking at the market on a higher time frame analysis like this. We're looking at weekly time frames here, so you're seeing a lot of traders be trapped long and short. So when you've seen the long traders get trapped once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, we're now getting into that psychological stage of the market where the people who was longing all these dips here and thinking, yes, this is it, they've been taken 3 times. And when you get to that third time, we've talked about it before, trader psychology after the third time is to possibly give up. And as we now start to develop this descending structure, even if you do have a couple of late longs entering the market, potentially up and around these levels, it will probably consolidate for at least 10 or 12 days here, a couple of weeks, to keep these people bored thinking, all right, we're just going to go down, maybe we do get that final dip. But in my opinion, the risks to reward right now in Sand is looking really, really good for that move back to the upside, at least that $1.30 region. And when we start to potentially start thinking about a plan here of entering the market and exiting the market, we need to have a couple of levels to the downside. So I think your first major level is going to be on this weekly level around 39 cents. Your second major entry level, I'm thinking around 32, 33 cents, looking for that big move to the upside. So your exit zones could be at the top of these liquidity wicks here. I would imagine your first exit zone around 89 cents, have your second exit zone around 98 cents, just before that psychological $1 zone. I've seen many altcoins in the past do these sort of moves where it chops and trades around there, then it goes and takes the low, then it goes for the high. So that is a possibility. Or we could even just get the big move to the upside, then come down and take all of those stop losses once again and go for that higher move, looking for a higher time frame 1 2 1 2 3. These are all possibilities, and we don't know what's going to happen, but the likelihood is if we get that 1 to 200% move like we've seen with other altcoins, you're going to at least get a 50 60 70% retrace. So taking profits at these levels is never a mistake. It's never too early to take profit after 150 200% move. If you're starting to hold the trade out and hold the trade out after those levels, you're starting to get a bit greedy, seeing the market get a bit euphoric. That is not a situation you want to be in to handle that drawdown, because you're going to be thinking, oh, I wish I would have sold. I'm just going to sell down here and then buy back as we go lower. The market will chop and trade you out. Doing them decisions is just never a good idea. Take it from someone who's, when we started in the market, we've made all these mistakes. So I'm telling you these things so you guys don't have to make those mistakes. So I think when we start to see this descending structure in the market, whether we've got another dip down, doesn't really matter too much. We're at key levels now, key structural levels for sand. I think, as again I've just said, the risk to reward in the market looking really, really good. So when taking into account a lower time frame trade like this, or even a medium time frame trade, I think the first thing you want to be doing is just pulling the Fibonacci's to see if we can get a bit of confluence. And you can see already this Fibonacci has been really key at analysing key structural levels you're going to get support on and retesting, coming back down to the lows. But to get an extra bit of confluence, what I want to do is just take the low of this swing low to the high, back down to this low to see if we can get any confluence. And look at that, you've got the 61.8 retrace of the full Fibonacci down coming in and aligning with the 1.272 and the 1.414 of the trend-based Fibonacci. So I think at least $1, $1.13 going to be a real key zone. That level might get front run by traders just below that psychological $1 region. So outline that on your chart, guys. Take that Fibonacci off there, just outline this level right here before the $1 region, outline that as a nice take profit zone. We've already seen these moves with Bitcoin Cash and some other altcoins. Would sand be so ridiculous to expect a move like this to the upside? I don't think so. We're seeing Bitcoin consolidate, maybe a little bit of dominance and liquidity seeking back into the altcoin market. Will it last? We don't know. So all we can do is speculate on these lower time frame moves. So off of the low here, whether we're wanting to see an ABC to the upside or an impulse to the upside, either way, we're going to begin with a 5-wave move, which is what I think we've maybe got here. Maybe we've got room for a little bit more of a pump to the upside, get to around here. But then I am looking for a bit of consolidation, so this trade might take a couple of weeks to play out. I would look for a bit of consolidation around these 39 level. Any dips into there, looking to maybe add that spot position. Obviously, that trend line that we outlined earlier, back to that key monthly demand area, down to that 31, 32 cents region. I think again would be a good buy the dip opportunity. Obviously it's not financial advice, but looking at risking that drawdown of maybe 20%, 15% for them major moves to the upside of 100% plus, that's the trade you want to be looking for. Whereas many people will just jump into the market after a pump and think, yes, we're going, and they'll get chopped out by the little dips to the downside. With a plan like this, taking exits and entry strategies into consideration with your invalidations and your own psychology, whatever suits you is the way to go. Of course, it's not financial advice, just a lower time frame trade here. Not really looking for too much, just sitting back, relaxing, letting the market do the work. And once again, not financial advice. If you like the video, give it a like. Of course, any comments, subscriptions appreciated. Nearly at that 1,000 mark. We might be at 1,000 by the time I put this out. Who knows? We don't know. Just sit back, relax, let the market do the work. I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.